so I don't have to say who I am, but I'm going to be talking about the art of the pop-up. And first, we're going to start off with a just quick definition of what is a pop-up. This is Wall Street in Norwalk, and what we're looking at is a burnt-out building that's been there, burnt out in that condition for about 3 years, and for a couple of years before that it was vacant, and it's next to some nice retail jewelry stores, but it doesn't look great. And across the street, we're looking at, the 1980s strip mall estate, and it's been like this for 20 years. So vacancy creates more vacancy, and what it does is it creates dead downtowns. And what we tried to do since about 2008 is to create lively downtowns. So when we see for rent signs or for lease signs, we view those as an opportunity. And the opportunity that we're trying to do is to try and bring people to our downtowns to do stuff. And so we contact the property owners, and we say, hey, we want to do some fun stuff. So what we're looking at here is a space that we did in 2011. And this was Sweet Rexy's. It's a great candy store in South Norwalk. And they moved to Fairfield. And for 2 years, the place was vacant. And what it looked like was this, except without people in it. And nobody was leasing it. It was a great location next to Donovan's. And we said, hey, give us the space for 90 days, and we'll do stuff, and we'll make it better. And that was the deal for the property owner. We were going to improve the space and make stuff happen. So we painted it white and turned it into a great flexible space that we could do art exhibits and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it was a lot of work because we had to paint really high up and on letters that were creaky and everything. And our first event was in partnership with the Norwalk Community College, and it was a live sketching event. We called it Sketchy. And there was a model there, and people off the street could come in and they could sketch the model that was there and just hang out and have a great time and spill out onto the street and put some activity on there. Then we did a traditional art show or exhibit called The Market. And we realized that, a lot of this stuff was happening at night. And when you have a space for 90 days, you really kind of have to do a lot of different things. So we started accelerating the switchover. And about every 10 days, we would do a new show. And this was the Peep Show that we did in partnership with Firing Circuits, which is an arts collective in Norwalk. And they covered the windows, and all you could see were these holes that you could look in and see what was going on. Then we did a show called Candy that was kind of, in a little homage back to Sweet Rexy's. Very vibrant, big show and everything. And, we got a lot of people coming in off the street and everything. Because we kept on moving things around every 10 days, we ended up getting a lot of press and a lot of publicity, which meant more people started coming down, which is exactly the point of doing pop-ups. It's to bring people to your downtowns. It's not about just doing things for, just to have art out there. So we had a skateboard collective that was meeting there. We had T-shirts for sale. We had posters for sale. We were really trying to, stretch the wings of all the different things that you could do in a pop-up environment. And so we had a yoga collective that was selling yoga wear. We had ice cream for sale. We had salsa, barbecue sauce, designer journals. And all this was going on within 90 days and rotating about every 10 days. But we also needed to activate during the day. We partnered with restaurants down the street. This was Coromandel doing Indian food. There's a Coromandel in Stamford. And we screened Monsoon Wedding and sold tickets to the event because we kind of figured that we needed to cover our overhead. During the day, we did things like hold meetings. We had a summer camp that learned about screen printing, and we had live art demonstrations during the day. So we just kept on having things happen constantly in this space. But this wasn't the only space that we were doing things. And doing exhibits and events and art shows isn't the only thing you can do. This is an example from Beacon, New York. They were trying to get the community support for a redevelopment plan, and so they put the plan in the window and said, hey, comment on this. And what we did is we started running surveys and telling people about our next events and stuff like that. This building was supposed to be demolished 5 years ago. It still isn't demolished, but we got into the interior and we did some wild stuff. We did indoor murals. We did a farmer's market. We did an on-site installation called Cell City, which was totally fabulous. But of course, it was supposed to be all temporary, but the building's still there. And so we look at it and say, well, maybe we'll do some more stuff down there. The important part about this is the opportunity to do pop-ups is really easy. Contact the property owners. Tell them what you want to do. Tell them how you're going to improve or work with them. Work with the businesses in the area. The most important things that you need to do, you're not leasing the space. Get a memorandum of understanding with the property owner. Make sure you have liability insurance. and make sure that the utilities are covered. Other than that, come up with a creative idea, start picking up the phone and calling people, and you too can have pop-ups happening anywhere in your city. If you want more information, you can always reach us at norwalk2.org.